All right, boys and girls, welcome to our fifth video lesson. Yes, it's already the fifth one. Our fifth video lesson in Chapter 6, our lesson on rhombuses and squares. And yes, the plural of rhombus is rhombi, R-H-U-M-B-I. One rhombus, two rhombi. One square, two squirrels. Okay, never mind. All right. A rhombus, the properties of rhombuses. Okay, a rhombus by definition is a parallelogram with four congruent sides. So that's the definition right here. The definition of a rhombus is a rhombus or a parallelogram with four congruent sides. So all the properties of a pair once again apply to rhombi. Okay. In addition, now in a rhombus, diagonals of the diagonals are perpendicular bisectors of each other. The diagonals perpendicularly bisect each other. The diagonals bisect the angles. So if I look right here, this angle is bisected by the diagonal. All these angles are bisected by the diagonal. The diagonals divide the shape into four congruent right triangles. So this triangle is congruent to this triangle, is congruent to this triangle, is congruent to this triangle. And please know, when we're going to talk about kites in the next section, but all the properties of kites are what we call half properties. In a rhombus, the properties are full properties. Okay? Let's keep going. A square. A square by definition is a rhombus that's also a rectangle, or a rectangle that's also a rhombus. Don't forget that square was begat by rhombus and rectangle. So in a square is a rectangle and it's also a rhombus. So all the properties of a rectangle apply, all the properties of a rhombus apply, and because the rhombus and the rectangle are both parallelograms, all the properties of parallelograms apply. A square is pretty special, okay? And not that this is terribly important, but the diagonals form four congruent right isosceles triangles. So this triangle is congruent to this triangle, congruent to this triangle, congruent to that triangle. Okay, looking at this problem right here, I cannot do this on the iPad just because I can't write with my marshmallow, but I want you guys to do this yourselves. And I'm going to give you guys a 6-point homework grade if you email me your answer and why, a quick sentence or two explanation as to what is the most descriptive name for this quadrilateral. Okay, I'll give you a 6-point homework grade if I receive your email before class tomorrow. Okay, if I don't get the email, then you will get a 0 on this homework. Okay, so first thing I would do, though, is I would just, fill in the points. So we're at -3, 5, -3, 5, that's right here. We're at 2, 7, that's going to be right here. We're at 4, 2, that's going to be right here. And we are at -1, 0, that's going to be right here. Okay, so you guys are going to use your either distance formula, your slopes, or your midpoint formula, or any combination of those to prove or to find the most descriptive name for this quadrilateral. Your choices could be just regular old quad, a lump of coal. It could be a pair. It could be a rhomb. It could be a rect. Or it could be a square. I need you to give me the most descriptive name that you can for this in an email by tomorrow. Okay? Let's play some more rectangle games. Find the value of x that will make the quad a rectangle. Well, we already know it is a pair. We already know it's a pair because it's given that the sides are parallel. Well, a parallelogram with a right angle means it's a rectangle. So 5x minus 3 is equal to 90. We're going to add the 3 to both sides. I get 5x is equal to 93, so when I divide by 5, not a pleasant number, but x is going to equal 93 divided by 5, which is 19 3/5, or if you prefer, 19.6. As we look at this one, find the value of x that makes the quad a rhombus. Okay, we already know it is a parallelogram because the opposite sides are equal. For this to be a rhombus now, it means that all the sides are equal. So 2x plus 5 is going to equal 14 minus x. I will let you do the algebra this time. If you include in your email the answer for x equals right here, I will give you an extra bonus point on your homework. So x equals what? Include that in your email. Find the value of x that will make the quad a square. But what do I know about squares? I know a whole bunch of stuff, but I also know that now for this to be a square, it's a rectangle that's also a rhombus. What is true about rhombi? The diagonals bisect each other perpendicularly. They are perpendicular bisectors of each other. So this is the perpendicular bisector of that if this is a rhombus. We already know that this is a parallelogram because the opposite angles are equal. So therefore, and it's a parallelogram with a right angle, so it's a rectangle. So this is both a rectangle and a rhombus. It is a square. So we need to say that 13x plus 5.5 is equal to 90. Okay? Well, that being said, again, not particularly nice numbers, but I'm going to subtract the 5.5 from both sides. So I get 13x is equal to 84.5. Now I'm going to divide both sides by 13. 84.5 divided by 13, it looks yucky, but it's actually not too bad. X equals 6.5. The diagonals of a rhombus, FG, HJ, they intersect at K. Use the given information to find each measure. And again, what do I know about rhombi? I know a whole bunch of stuff. I know that the diagonals are perpendicular. I also know that the diagonals bisect the angles. So let's kind of mark what we have here. Measure of angle FJH is 82, so that's 82. We're looking for the measure now of angle KHJ, which is this angle right here. Okay, so now I know that this is a right angle because at K there, because the diagonals of a rhombus are perp. So now I know that this angle right here, this little guy, would be half of 82, which is 41. So I know that the measure of angle KJH is 41, plus the right angle is 90, plus the measure that I'm looking for, X, is equal to 180. So therefore now I can say that X is equal to, don't tell me I'm going to do this math, 90, 41, 49. So X is 49. Okay, let's do this next problem here. If GH is equal to X plus 9 and GH is this length right here, I'll do this in blue. And JH is 5x minus 2, that's this length right here. We know that those two sides are going to be equal if this is a rhombus. So therefore, x plus 9 is equal to 5x minus 2. Doing some quick algebra right now. I'm going to minus the x. I'm going to add the 2 and add the 2. It looks like I get 4x is equal to 11. So when I divide by 4, x is equal to 2.75. 2 3/4. All right, let's go on to the next slide. Find the perimeter of rhombus ABCD given the measures of these angles. This looks like a system upcoming here. Let's kind of take a look. Okay, we have a rhombus ABCD. That means that all of our sides are equal and all the properties of parallelograms also apply. So I'm just looking right here. Measure of angle ABD is 5x, so that's this angle right here, that's 5x. The measure of angle BDC, that's this angle right here, that's 6y plus 1. Notice that those two angles are alternate interior angles for these two sides because those two sides are parallel. So we know now that 5x is equal to 6y plus 1. In red here, now I know the measure of angle BCD. BCD, that's this angle right here. That's equal to 18x plus 10y. I also now know that measure of angle BAD, That's that angle is 22x plus 5y. Those two angles are equal because opposite angles are equal in a parallelogram. So now I know that 18x plus 10y is equal to 22x plus 5y. I'm going to put my x's and y's on the same side here, so I'm going to subtract the 18x and get 4x on this side. I'm going to subtract my 5y's and get 5y on this side. So now I know that 4x is equal to 5y. I would probably solve this by substitution. Or, sure. So I'm going to have 5x minus 6y is equal to 1. And I also have 4x is equal to 5y. So x is equal to 5 y. So I have 5 times 5 y minus 6y is equal to 1. It looks like I have 25 y, which is, don't tell me, 6 1/4. So I have 25 y minus 6y is equal to 1. So that's 1/4 y is equal to 1. So y is equal to 4. Well, if y is equal to 4, that means that 5x up here, this would be 24 right here. So 24 plus 1 is 25. 5x is 25. X is equal to 5. So therefore, if x plus a measure of angle, a measure of AD is 5 plus 4, which is 9. Each of those sides are 9 because it's a rhombus. 9, 9, 9, 9. So 36 would be my perimeter. Why don't you guys try this one at home right now? Give it a go. This is our last one. Okay, you should have found that AC plus BD, AC plus BD is equal to 34. And that is because the diagonals of a rhombus, because a rhombus is a pair, the diagonals bisect each other. If AC is equal to BD, then we would know that this thing is a rectangle. And a rectangle that is a rhombus is also a square. All right, folks, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.